Tonight is the night I finally get to see New Mutants. How long has it even been?
It's been 84 years.
Oh, thanks, Grandma. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to JBuck Studios, your home for reviews, reactions, and ridiculousness. And it finally happened. It finally is in the movie theaters. A movie that was on my most anticipated of 17, 18, 2019, and 2020. A movie I never thought I would see. And it's called The New Mutants. Magic, Wolfsbane, and other teenage mutants try to come to grips with their superpowers while staying at a secret facility. So are these new mutants, or I guess now old mutants, worthy of that title of most anticipated movie in the movie theaters for 2020, this weird year? Let's find out. But before I get into my thoughts, let me know what you guys thought of The New Mutants, and if you have been along on this journey of this movie for the last 3 years like myself. Now let's get into some of the good. So yes, this New Mutants movie actually exists. It's in the movie theaters. It was nice to get back to the movie theaters, and it was a refreshing thing to finally see this movie that essentially started at the very first year of this YouTube channel. So getting into the New Mutants, I'm not too familiar with the lore. I just know that it's kind of an offshoot of a darker, different group of, X-Men characters in this world. Wolfsbane, Magic, a handful of other people, Cannonball, I believe. And I think what they were going for this movie, of those horror elements, kind of a horror superhero genre type movie, I think it definitely lands in that horror vibe of this movie at certain times. It's very much this haunted house asylum, kind of Outlast-y, the video game, with these creepy creatures and dreams that are haunting them. So there were actually some genuinely terrifying moments in The New Mutants. I just wish that they maybe would have steered a little bit more into it, but there are pieces of this movie that are horrifying. But I think the main thing is the third act of this movie sort of saved it for me. I thought it was a solid third act. There were some pieces of this movie that, we had gotten 37 trailers essentially for this movie. There were still pieces that they had not shown, and I was surprised by that. I went in kind of expecting or knowing what I was going to get, and there were some parts of this, especially the third act. It's action-packed, it's that horror vibe, it's scary at times, and I think it was a solid finish to this movie. Sure, I'll get into the negatives later, but I think that this third act really wrapped everything up, from the action, the characters, the horror elements, and even the special effects at times. I mean, I thoroughly thought that, this movie landed the finish. However, The New Mutants, this movie has been kind of, is it coming out, is it not coming out, for over 3 years now, and you can tell that this is, I wouldn't say exactly an aged movie, but there could have been more care put into this. They would have benefited from reshoots, because the script, the dialogue, the sequence of the scenes and everything, it does feel a bit disjointed at times. Going from here, going to there, not really explaining too much, glossing over a few things. This is a movie that definitely would have benefited from a little bit more time in the oven. And, it fell in that weird time, a Fox-Disney merger, thrown out. Maybe are we going to release it? Maybe are we going to scrap it? I really don't know. But I'm glad to see this, but you can tell that there wasn't enough care really put into this movie. And I think it would have benefited from probably another 20 minutes, 25 minutes of really establishing the world, the lore, the characters, and more into that horror vibe of this movie. I mean, this movie, The New Mutants, is clocking in at a little bit over 90 minutes. My understanding was it was going to be closer to 2 hours originally, which, boom, throw that extra 20 minutes in there, see what you could have done with this movie, and really ramp up those horror elements. Because, like I said, the horror elements of this movie were probably the strongest. I wish that they would have gone further into it, however, because there is times that they kind of stray away from it, going to kind of more light-hearted material, almost like a teenage romp, we're having fun montage that took me away from what this movie I thought was. And if they would have strictly stayed in that lane of, hey, this movie isn't really going to be characters having fun. It's going to be these characters suffering. I think it would have hit a lot harder because, those fun kind of romp, maybe relationship type angles of the movie just took me out of what I really enjoyed. And not only the tone and whatnot, but the extra 20 minutes that they could have tacked onto this movie could have explored the characters a little bit more. I don't even know if you get the names of all of these characters. Magic, Wolfsbane, Cannonball, all of the other people. You don't even get the names of them. Like, there's a flame dude. I don't know what his name is. The Human Torch? Maybe. So I think that it would have benefited even the characters, but even the portrayal of the characters from, Anya Taylor-Joy, Maisie Williams, the Charlie dude from Stranger Things. I'm sorry, I don't know his name. But I think that it would have benefited their characters as well with maybe some reshoots, maybe some more time with the script, or even that 20 minutes to really expand things a little bit more. And also a nitpick, get rid of, and maybe it's comic lore, sticking to the comic, but everyone had accents. Get rid of those accents. I thought it was very it took me out of it. I didn't think the accents were going in and out as well as they could have been. In closing, The New Mutants is a movie. It finally is here. Let's change the title to The Old Mutants. With it featuring genuinely terrifying moments here or there, and a third act that I feel like really stuck the landing, but with it being benefited from maybe 20 more minutes of runtime, some more time in the oven, some character development, just a little bit more here or there, and steering more into that horror vibe. I'm right on the line of you should probably see this movie and skip out on The New Mutants. I know that a lot of people in the movie community, a lot of comic book fans, have been waiting literally years for this movie. Go and see it if that's the case. But if you're looking for a high caliber, a superhero movie or comic book movie that we are used to or that we are treated to now in 2020, maybe skip out on it. In closing, I'm going to give The New Mutants 3 out of 5 what ifs. So what did you guys think of The New Mutants? If you've already seen this one, very much looking forward to this one, or staying far away from no longer The New Mutants, but The Old Mutants? I want to know in the comments down below. Anyways, though, as always, thank you so much for watching. Watch some more videos up there, or right over there, brand new content every single week here on the JBuck Studios channel. This weekend, I think I have a Q&A, a live Q&A, and then, the normal stuff, Tenet on Monday. So stay tuned for all of that by following my social medias down there. Like this video, subscribe to the JBuck Studios channel, and until next time, man, we finally saw this movie.